I'm excited about this one, guys. Iowa basketball, little roster update here as we get ready for the 2025-26 season. And before we go forward, we've got to go backwards because, look, I think this has the potential to be one of the best stories in college basketball. I think it is one of the best stories heading into the season. But if it goes the way I think it might, it could be one of the best stories in sports, quite frankly. But first, Iowa basketball, where are they? So, Fran McCaffery, coach of the program, 15 seasons. I know you Iowa fans, you already know this, but this is for everyone else. They had pretty good years. He won almost 300 games, lost just over 200. He basically was like 20 wins per season, 14 losses per season. They were on the bubble a number of times, but they peaked above that. They had guys like Luka Garza, Jared Utoff, Keegan Murray, Peter Jock, and they had success. And Fran McCaffery took over that program after 3 losing seasons prior to him taking over. They were good under Steve Alford, which was a new one for me. I didn't realize he coached there. And now, it's time to move on. It's time to move on for this Iowa program. And that is where Ben McCollum and Bennett Stirtz come in. And, and by the way, just one last thing on McCaffery. 15 years, only 2 losing records in that time. One of those was his first season. So just very consistent from McCaffery. And you're hoping for that, plus I think a little higher level of basketball from Coach McCollum. And the story with these guys, they're coming over from Drake. They were together at the D2 level. Coach Ben McCollum has been a tremendous Division II coach for many years. They got an NCAA tournament win last year with Drake, with their win over Missouri in the first round. They lost what was a competitive game, but there's certainly some deficiencies that came up in their second round game, round of 32, I guess, technically, with Texas Tech. But the story is so cool. They go from Division II to Drake to now Iowa. Coach McCollum and Bennett Stirtz. And they've got a fun brand of basketball. They move the ball well. They shoot the three well. There's constant motion and cutting. Guys are just engaged. That would be the word I use. And then defensively, they can make an impact there too. And 5 guys are coming over with Coach McCollum to Iowa. We already talked about Bennett Stirtz, who's going to be one of the better guards in college basketball next season. Was one last year, but just under the radar at Drake. They also bring in Isaiah Howard, who's going to be a sophomore wing, Cale Combs, and Cam Manua, who we'll call him Cam. Those last 2 guys, both transferred from Wyoming to Drake and now to Iowa. And then Tay Banks and Cam make up their center rotation, or at least last year they did for Drake. And what's cool about them, they're 6'7", 6'8", but they just use their quickness to their advantage, the scheme of the offense, and they play bigger than their height suggests. They brought in Alvaro Folgueras, who's going to replace Abreu as their stretch 4, but he's just a more talented, more skilled version coming over from Robert Morris in the transfer portal. They also got Brendan Hawson, who's a 6'4" wing. They brought in from Kansas State, 11 points per game, 39% from 3. And then they got some height with some of their freshmen. And the thing is with Coach McCollum, and part of the reason I'm excited about this team is this guy gets the most out of his talent. And speaking of that, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. It really mean the most to me. He brought in 3 freshmen. Trey Thompson is a 6'8" forward, top 100 rated recruit. And then Trevin Urak, who's a 6'11" center, gives them some actual size. And Tate Sage is a 6'7" forward. I think they're going to be just fine against some teams, but I think other teams, especially in the Big Ten, thinking back to last year, Michigan with their double big lineup and Maryland with their double big lineups, right? Julian Reese, Derek Queen, and then Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden. They did have issues in the tournament game against Texas Tech with their bigs in Darion Williams and JT Toppin. I could see that being an issue for this Iowa team just based off their lack of size. but I think their skill, the way they play together, the motion offensively, they're going to give other teams fits. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch in the Big Ten level. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Until next time, peace.